I think the first thing to say is that M&S have always had a passion for ethical trade, over the last 100 years. So this is not a new thing for us. It is definitely part of the DNA and the heritage of the company. So it makes life a little bit easier for us. Our commitment is fairly straightforward. It's just about doing the right thing. And for us, what doing the right thing means is doing it on three fronts. First one we've talked about, which is on the social front, so the human aspects of the supply chain, and I mean the supply chain end to end. The second area is regarding the environment, and the third area is around animal welfare. So that's how we sort of term our ethical trading. And what we are trying to do is to say, look, before you start doing all the other sort of bits and pieces, you've got to make sure that those standards apply to all of our products. So it's not just a niche range in the corner of a store. You can say, hand on heart, that you're trying your best on all the products that you sell, and I think that's fundamental. The other thing is, from a customer point of view, our customers are telling us now that you can't cherry pick. You can't be a hero on one bit of those three elements and say we're going to ignore the other two or the other three because they're too difficult. Our customers are now putting the pressure on Marks and Spencer to actually be at the forefront on all those aspects, and that's when we launched this Plan A that some of you may have heard about, but it is about all three fronts that we're trying to tackle. The other thing customers have said is they expect the retailer to do most of the work. So they want M&S to be accountable and responsible for doing 75% of the job for them, and the customers are saying, we'll play our bit, but it's definitely the smaller bit. We don't want to worry about all these things. You're the retailer. You should be taking care of that on our behalf. And therefore, in terms of the commitment, if you want to really be committed in this field, traceability, and we've just heard, becomes key. And traceability is a very difficult thing to do. You know, we've got over 2,000 factory sites manufacturing for M&S. We've traditionally had good traceability down to the manufacturing level, the sewing machine level. And we've extended that over probably the last 10 years, so we know where all our fabrics are coming from. We also know where most of our yarns are being spun, and very recently we've sort of gone back to the field. So 10% of our cotton we can trace back to which farmer and which field grew that cotton. But our plans are that we want to bring that level of traceability to the entire supply chain. So we should know about the other 90% of the cotton. We should know about the polyester, where it comes from, the nylon, where that comes from. And once you've got a view and a picture of what the entire supply chain is about, then you can start to ask the questions, is it good enough? What bits are working well, what bits aren't working well? And then you can basically prioritise and say you can't do everything overnight, but what you can certainly do is have a few things that make the biggest impact on the supply chain. And that's what we're doing constantly. So again, over the next 2 years, we'll be prioritising in terms of lots of information coming through the supply chain and looking at the specific areas we think M&S can have the biggest impact on those three agendas.